Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball HTB. Hope you all. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. Look, we're here. I'm here with Warriors and our Fanatics. We all know him. Very keen content creator. Does wonderful stuff. Good work as well. Is a cool dude and a good friend of mine. But instead, that I'm not going to introduce him. I think I'll let him introduce himself before we just basically get straight into the topics, man. How have you been?
Yeah, I've been good, and it's good to be back on your channel again. Actually, I think we did this did this last week as well, so it's good to be back on for the second week in a row. And yeah, so as you guys know already or don't know, I'm Warriors NRL Fanatics. I do a YouTube channel. I do New Zealand Warriors content, NRL content as well, but mostly Warriors content. And yeah, look, uh, I'm looking forward to discussing a few things with Hold the Ball tonight on this channel. Yeah, thanks to Hold the Ball for having me on tonight. And yeah, looking forward to getting into the chat.
Awesome. And again, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Again, for those there, please feel free to ask questions as we talk about things. Just a quick disclaimer. I've usually done these shows on my iPhone, so I haven't had the luxury of looking at different options and different ways to sort of present and make this look better anyway. So first time I'm using it on a laptop, so I've actually got a wide range of tools to actually use, which I'll be showing you guys. Fanatics was also nice enough as well to actually run me through how it works, teach me and talk to me about share screens. So again, things are on the up with this channel just regarding the laptop usage. And again, for myself, if you guys don't know, I've done a few things, few contents as well, a few lives as well, a few interviews, and I do have some coming up as well. But in saying that, you look, it's one of those things where news, even though the news is probably a bit thin, it doesn't matter. There's always something happening around the corner. So we're basically going to be addressing it and then sort of going from there. So first things first, I think I'll bring up, we'll do this one first. There we go. So Tavira and Nikorima halves, and this is for the context of the Warriors. And just quickly, guys, again, please feel free to ask questions. So obviously they've been named the halves for the Māori All-Stars. That's all good and well, and it's great. But do you think these guys will be dueling it to actually try and play with Shaun Johnson? What are your thoughts there? This is sort of a trial run before we kick and get our season underway.
Yeah, look, Chanel Aristotavita and Cody Nikorima, the halves for the Māori All-Stars this week. Huge congratulations to both of them on their selections there in the halves there this week. And yeah, I really hope that both Cody and Chanel Harris-Tavita have good games. I really hope they can step up and show what they're worth, because we all know that the biggest question mark going to this off-season is who's going to be the halves for the Warriors this season, who's going to be pairing in the halves with Shaun Johnson. We know Shaun Johnson's going to get that spot, but we all don't know yet who's going to pair. Will it be Chanel Harris-Tavita? Will it be Cody Nikorima? Ash Taylor as well, who's going to be in the picture as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how both of them go. Both of them, they're proud of their Māori, heritage. And both, I'm sure, will want to have big games this week against the Indigenous to, state their claims for a spot, maybe in the Warriors starting lineup for round one. But we've also got that, and we've also got trials as well coming up. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how they both go, actually. I'm really keen to see what they do.
Yeah, look, I agree, and I think I'll just add on to it as well. Those who are just watching the game, to them, it's just two teams playing, and obviously pride, passion, culture, and of course the same for us as well. Watching it, we're pretty keen. But I guess for you and I'm going to be closely watching it anyway, purely because I want to see how these guys play. I get it; it's an All-Stars game, but like you said, they're going to be dueling it, whether you like it or not. It's basically going to be a decider. Granted, Ash Taylor's in the mix, but it's going to be a decider as to see who actually plays with Shaun Johnson. So I'm actually looking forward to this in that sense that one of these guys is going to have to step up, like one of these guys is going to have to do something, I think, anyway. Who's going to lead? Who's going to sort of feed off the other person? It's going to be interesting to see. I do hope though that neither of them have a bad game. That's what I'm going to say. I do not want them to have a bad game. Obviously, it's not the be all end all, but it's not going to be a great look. What are your thoughts about that? The other side of the coin. What if they do play bad? What are your thoughts there?
Well, look, I know it's such a, well, some people will say, oh, it's a meaningless game and that, but for the Māori players and for the Indigenous players, it's like a state of origin game for them, because they can't play in state of origin, so it's like an origin game for them, and this will be like a little mini trial run for Chanel and Cody Nikorima there for that starting half spot. So, look, if either of them have a bad game, it will be it will be a little bit disappointing. Got to be honest, it would be. But would I say it's the end of the world? I would say no, because there's a preseason trial as well. You've got 2 preseason trials. You've got the Titans. You got the Melbourne Storm first up in the Gold Coast Titans game. So you'd expect them to play in one of those 2 trials or both of them, maybe off the bench or starting, who knows. But I think at the end of the day, if they don't play good on the weekend, I don't think it's the end of the world, because there's 2 trials to come. So yeah, that's what I think about it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And I suppose even with the trials, I do suspect that Ash Taylor will be in the mix, playing there or thereabouts, I reckon, heading into the trial. So he too can still put his hand up as well. But it's going to be pretty exciting just watching them play. Again, as a Warriors fan, obviously, I'm just hoping that they play well on our behalf. And the same goes for Josh Curran too. Obviously playing for the Indigenous team, I want to see him play really well and obviously go well. I hope he doesn't hammer Jazz Tavanga too much, but it's going to be interesting to see those 2 boys go at it. What are your thoughts of that contest between Jazz Tavanga and Josh Curran?
I just hope they don't both get injured. Just fingers crossed. Don't get injured. Please, don't get injured. That's the say. I mean,
yeah. No, I agree. But look, just quickly, my thoughts on Josh Curran. Just quickly, I know you're a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of him. But I'm hoping he's that player that stays with us long term. I'm just going to throw it out there. I hope he stays with us long term. After hearing all that news, you just want to hope there's some stability. Touch wood. That's all I'm going to say there. Definitely. All right, another thing we'll go into as well. This sort of leads on to, or did you want to sort of touch on that yourself, Fanatics, or are you okay?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we could touch on that. What you said about Josh?
Yeah, look, just we're both big fans of him. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, hoping that we can keep him long term. I think he's a solid player, and I do expect big and wonderful things from JC this season.
Yeah. I am a massive fan of Josh Curran, and you got to remember he had a good season last year. I think for me, he was probably the most improved player by far last year. Actually, I think he had a great season, and I got a selection for the Indigenous, no doubt about it. I think he was selected last year as well in the Indigenous as well. So it's the second year that he's been picked for the Indigenous, which is awesome. I do hope that this year, maybe if he has a good year, I mean, maybe we could see him in State of Origin. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I love to see him get a massive rep section there, and if he has a big season, you never know. But big reps on Josh Curran, and I hope we can keep him long term. I really do, because that'll be great if we could. But good luck to Josh Curran. Massive shout out to him, and hopefully he goes well on the weekend for the Indigenous. Hopefully he represents well, and I'm sure he will. And best of luck to him for the Indigenous. But I'm going for the Māori, obviously. I want to see the Māori win, but best of luck to Josh.
Yeah, look, I agree. Look, I tipped the Māoris as well, but to be fair with you, because Josh Curran plays in the Indigenous team, if they win, then I win. I don't care. That's the way I look at it. So that's where I'm in. That's where I'm at. So if he wins, I win.
Either way.
Yeah, look, you sort of brought up the origin there. Not that we're going to go there, but Yeah, it'll be pretty tough
No,
though
but
if he
early.
was to get in there. Pretty early there, but it's a bit cool. All right, another thing as well we're going to talk about Nikorima, the co-captain. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a bit interesting. Actually, I was a bit surprised by this. Look, good on him. Congratulations. Good to see him. Even I saw an article and he was a bit surprised by it. He quoted that he was a bit shocked and surprised that he got this role. And huge congratulations to Cody. But a bit surprised to go in that direction. Actually, a bit surprised to be fair. But good luck to Cody. Hopefully he can go well and do that leadership role well. Actually, I think he's been around for a while. Cody Nikorima, you got to remember he's been around for a while now. So I'm sure Cody will probably feel like a leader. But yeah, best of luck to him.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting selection. And just quickly before I get into it, I'm just going to quickly read through the comments. SRT says it's basically a Prime Master's partner, Sean Johnson, can't wait. SRT says, ever thought of doing podcasts? I know Fanatics is on the Warriors Forum. How about you, HTB? Yeah. I'm not really. Yeah, I don't think I am. I don't know. I don't think I'm in that forum there. And hey, Rugby League Roundup, how you going? And then we finish off with CJ Moxley saying, I'm keen to be the All-Stars this Saturday night. That's awesome, man. I hope you have a fun time, man. This is going to be cool. So good on you for that. All right. So just regarding Cody Nikorima. So him being captain is interesting. Obviously, Kidwell, the coach there, sees something in him that we don't. I don't mean to be pushing on the offensive here, but I probably would not have picked him or selected him to be co-captain personally. You've got James Fisher-Harris there, Rapana there. You know what I mean? You could even look at who else looked at. I would even argue and say Jazz Tavanga, even probably. That's what we had in front. But I look, it's interesting. It sort of sets him up as well. I think we'll get to see a different style of play. How will he perform being the leader? Not too sure, but it'll be interesting anyway, I think. But it should be good. It's interesting. Probably not the selection I would have went off, but hey, it is what I'll go there. All right, guys, we're going to go into the subject here, and this is a touchy subject. It's one that I know will evoke a bit of emotion, but in a sense, it's a platform you're free to view and express how you feel, whether that be on the camera or on the comment section. So 3, 2, 1. Recently, Jason Taumalolo fronted up to the Cowboys press media and was basically asked a few questions regarding his vaccine status. Long story short, Taumalolo did not disclose his information, choosing to basically avoid the question and basically say it's my own private information, so on and so forth. What are your thoughts on that? Bring into context that he's the captain of the team, he's their $1 million player, and he's somebody that held so much influence in a team that is very well. The Cowboys, as a franchise, as a club, are pro-vaccine. So how do you sort of diverge, navigate your way through this mess? What are your thoughts?
Look, yeah, this is a bit of a very touchy sort of topic. Everyone's going to have their different opinions on it. I'm sure there'll be people out there that are, probably not for the vaccine. Some people are for the vaccine. Some people aren't against it, but they have the vaccine. But it's a tough one. It's a real tough one, actually. And if you're the captain of the team, obviously, and you got to set example. You got to set standards. I know people have their own choices. Obviously, they want to make their own decisions. I'm not bludging that. It's people that want to make their own decisions. But at the end of the day, it's unfortunately it is what it is. It's rules, and the NRL's made it clear that players need to get vaccine, and Jason Taumalolo, if he still hasn't indicated, like, we don't know whether he's vaccinated or not. So it is a tough situation for a club to be in, because we're getting close to the season, and to not say anything about it, but like putting it in the dark, putting it in the dark for a lot of people out there who, putting in the dark for the club actually more so. So how do I put this? Look, so if you're the North Queensland Cowboys, you want to see Taumalolo actually come out and say something soon rather than later, because it's a distraction. It'll be a distraction around the club, with the season officially starting soon. So that's my thoughts on it. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much more than that, but yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, look, I'm probably going to dive into this not head first per se. I think I'll just dip the toes in, so to speak. But looking at this subject as a whole, obviously you've got to, I think, look at the wide picture here. Number one, he's a captain. Number two, the Cowboys, a lot of pressure heading into this year. Whether you like it or not, they are under immense pressure to make the 8. I don't care what anyone is. I believe that's what's happening there. And also, at the same time, like I said, the Queensland itself as a state, obviously, the safe haven. But at the same time, I think they are very pro-vaccine, and obviously the Cowboys are. When you're looking at it, and again, I'm not going to share my own personal views, because it doesn't matter whether you agree or not. The point is, whether you like it or not, you've signed a contract, right? You've signed the contract to play for the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are basically,
Exactly.
I believe they are vaccine, right? They're pro-vaccination. So when you've signed that contract, I believe wholeheartedly that, unfortunately for you, whether you like it or not, you've got to get that. You've got to get the vaccine. Now, obviously, when he's not sharing his details, that to me is not a good thing. The reason why I say that is, you put yourself, for example, Fanatics, as say, for example, a fan of that team, or even a club mate. If your own captain, who's supposed to be that model, who's supposed to be that status player, says, "No, I don't want to share anything," especially on a topic that's sensitive, need I remind you, the media and all that stuff around it, and he's not even sharing it, you're probably, what are your thoughts? Do you look at him as a leader anymore, or do you look at someone else to lead the pack, especially if he's not willing to share something that, in my opinion, needs to be shared? Now, whether he does or does not get vaccinated, I suppose is not the point. The point is he just needs to be upfront. That's what I think. What are your thoughts on that? Should he be a captain if he can't, or should he still be? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. I think if you got to come out and say, you got to be straightforward and the truth, and just say it. Just say it. I know it might sound simple to me, but maybe it's not to him. You got to come out and say that if you got the vaccine, you say you got the vaccine. If you don't have the vaccine, then, well, say it. I know maybe he's afraid that he's going to cop a bit of criticism or something. He's going to cop some criticism, he's had it or not, or something like that. Maybe that's probably the reason why he's not saying anything. But who knows? That could be the case. But you've got to say something, because you can't leave the club in the dark though about it. Personally, just what I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually, you shouldn't. And again, it doesn't matter about your stance. The point is that the Cowboys, as a team, they're a public figure. All that stuff. They're a club. They're known around Australia. I'm sorry, but regardless of your stance, you've got to sort of show some sort of fortitude there. Anyway, some sort of guts, and be upfront whether you have it or not. Just tell them. Anyway, I think that's probably as far as we'll dive into regarding that. All right, so in terms of topics, like I said, it can be quite thin, but thankfully I do have another topic to somewhat discuss. I guess one thing we can sort of talk about was what are your thoughts on what are your own thoughts actually regarding Joey Manu and the Māori, chairman basically saying that the Roosters kept them away. What are your thoughts on that? Basically, I believe Joey Manu wanted to play. I'm not too sure whether he did or didn't, but point being, the Roosters blocked him from being able to play. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm going to say I don't agree with it. I know you shared your thoughts on this topic on Nick from Australia's channel the other night on the rugby league breakdown. You and a few Nick and Sam and Pro Enzo, and that you all shared your thoughts on it, and that was a topic brought up as well. So you shared your thoughts on it, and look, personally, from my point of view, if I know the Roosters, I can understand where the Roosters are coming at because they've had injuries. Last year, they've had tons of injuries last year. They took a fielded team last year, and they did well to make the final. So, full credit to them for that. But if you're going to not allow someone like Joseph Manu to represent his culture, his heritage, well, I think it's just a joke for me. I just think it's an absolute joke. And the Māori All-Star, whatever he is a chief, or he's a guy that works for the Māori Rugby League or something. He had a go at them. He was fired up. He was pissed off. He was not happy, and I don't blame him because it doesn't feel right. Culture, club. I know club seems to be more important these days. I think people look at the clubs, and the clubs seem to take more priority than anyone else. It's the same with clubs over the internationals, which I think is completely utter ridiculous. I don't think that should be the case. I think international footy and representing your culture is more important, or representing your country is more important than worrying about your clubs. That's what I think. So Joey Manu, look, I don't agree with it. I think he should be allowed to play full stars. If he wants to play, he should be playing. And I just think it's completely wrong, in my opinion. I'm just not happy, not impressed with how that situation happened.
Look,
in my point of view, they should.
Yeah. So sorry, Fanatics, as you were saying, my apologies.
Oh yeah. Like I said, Roosters should know better. They should have known better. Should have handled the situation a lot better than what they did now.
Yeah, gotcha. Look, I managed to catch a bit of YKTR, and they actually touched on that subject as well today. So I've actually probably to a degree added more of my thoughts to the case. So what I heard from Justin Horo was he explained that basically Trent Robinson and the Roosters were well within their rights to express the way they feel, and that basically saying that the Māori chairman threw Joey Manu under the bus, and that it's important to obviously get the Roosters season underway. So I believe him and Isaac John disagreed with the Māori chairman. Basically, that was their point of view. Now, my rebuttal to that personally is, it's so funny how we can say this, but you change the context of it.
Yeah.
You imagine, you say, for example, Joey Manu is eligible to play for Queensland or New South Wales. Then what? You'll be getting those players basically doing anything they can, hand and foot to play. So for Justin Horo to say that, I saw it and I tried to mull over it personally, but I just couldn't help but disagree with what he said. So basically, he said, obviously, Joey Manu's back from injury, which is good. We understand, right? And so basically, just to ease him in and all that stuff, and obviously focus about the season ahead. But I mean, how many times have we seen of injured players, in Origin who can still somewhat move, still playing Origin games, game 2s, game 3s, So why is the All-Stars? So by Justin Horo saying this, he basically undersells the importance of the All-Stars, in my opinion. Anyway, I think it's probably a strong take, but by him saying that, the Roosters season is basically more important, their beginning, than the All-Stars. But yet in Origin, you'll see countless Queenslanders, New South Welsh players, putting everything they can for that jersey. Even if they're injured, they'll try fake it, whatever, pulling out of club games and everything just to play and represent their Origin jersey. But yeah, basically just saying, oh, well, it's just the All-Stars. That's all right. I strongly disagreed with what Justin Hodo said there. So for me, it still adds weight to my own personal argument that, yeah, that's right. I agree with what you said, Fanatics. Seems to me that the precedent is that it's going to be club or origin over All Stars, and we just can't be doing that. You got to have your best players available to sell this game. You want to see your Joey Monus, you want to see your Latrell Mitchells, you want to see your Edo Cars. You want to see the best players available, right? So yeah, that's sort of my sort of throw on it. Did you have anything to add to that, Fanatics?
No, you're pretty much spot on there with what you've said there, and I just think it could have been handled a bit better. I know I can see where the I know Roosters fans and Roosters, players and coach, Trent Robertson. I can see what he's trying to do there because they know that this season they're going to be up there. They're going to be up there at the end of the season, and they don't want to have injuries at the beginning of the year. But you can say that with your other team, they're playing their other players. You look like the Warriors playing Josh Curran, but pulled out Josh Curran or someone like Cody Nikorima, Shania Estevita, they're playing, isn't it? So I know Josh, different story. I know he's a much player than those players, but still, I just think it could have been handled a little bit better, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, like I said,
that's all I had.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, look, just quickly, just to close it off. I understand where Justin Hodo is coming from. Obviously, I get it, but I don't know. I just feel like if this was Origin, you'll see all players from under the sun trying to play for that team, injured or not. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it was probably a bit of an undersell for the All Stars game. We should be having the best players available, really, and if they want to play, please let them play. But that's my perspective where I come from. All right, so I guess just to add on to that as well, just give me your opinion on it. What are your thoughts on the importance of the All Stars and its continuation for the game?
Yeah, well, I know this whole, like I said earlier in the stream, I know that a lot of people say, it's not nothing game, it's pointless, and you get those people coming out with those comments, and I completely disagree. It's not. I know people say, it's just a pre-season game. It's more than that. It's more than a early season game. It's just more than that. Because for the Māori players, they want to represent their culture. The Indigenous, they want to do the same as well. They want to represent their culture. They're putting on the jersey. Now, this is like a mini state of origin to them. It's like a New South Wales. It's there's not many. We don't have a Pacific All Stars game. We don't have we have the internationals, but they come once in the blue. The internationals don't happen too often. Then you've got a World Cup, and World Cup comes around a couple of years. We've got to remember World Cup's this year, so. The importance of the All Stars, look, it's massively important. I'm going to say it's massively important, and there might be other people that don't agree with me on this one, but I think it's hugely important to keep it on the calendar going forward. And look, they should never get rid of it. They should never get rid of the All Stars. It should be on the calendar permanently for a long time, actually, because I really enjoy it. The start of the season, you kick off with the All Stars. We have the Indigenous culture, we have the Māori, the haka, it's so important. It's so important for those players, to put on that Māori jersey or that Indigenous jersey and go out there and represent their heritage of where their families are. So, I think it's massively important, the All-Stars game. It needs to be on the calendar long term for me. So, NRL, they better keep it on the calendar for a long, long time because if it gets taken off the calendar, I'm sure there's going to be a bit of backlash from a few players, actually. I think we all know the players are very passionate about it, and it's an important game. It's an important game every year. That's what I believe.
No, yeah, I agree, definitely. I agree. I think you hit the nail on the head there, so I probably won't add too much to that. But well said. Here's a question here just quickly from SRT. He basically says, here's the topic, boys. How long do you give Nathan Brown this season to pass judgment on whether we keep him or not? What are your thoughts there?
Look, I said it, and I've said it a lot with you lately, and on my channel, pretty much. I
Yeah.
said it that with many other people I've talked to, chatted to, that Nathan Brown, the Warriors need to have a good start to the season. It's so important. I think this year is probably the most important year for the club. It's the most important year for the club's history, in my opinion, out of all years.
Yeah.
It might sound like a big
Yep.
call here, but it's a massively important year. I know. Again, we're stuck in Australia again. I know that but we can't use that as an excuse anymore. The first year I understand completely. I understand completely the first year because that was just thrown out of the bus. Thrown out of the blue, and we all remember that. At that Newcastle game when they found out about the news before I think it was before the game or after the game when they found out that they had to stay in Australia, and that's when it all started to get very bad. And look, Nathan Brown, the Warriors need to have a good start to the season. And look, if we don't have a good season this year, Nathan Brown's probably going to be gone. As much it might sound cruel, but I think he might be gone. Yeah, I hope Nathan Brown can come out and have a good year. I really do. I hope he can have a good year as a coach, and hope the boys can put on good performances on the field as well. Because not all of it's on the coach. It's not all on the coach. I know a lot of people might say otherwise, and people might say no, it's about results and it's about the coach, but it's about the players on the field to perform, and the players have faith in the coach. That's what it's all about for me. So, yeah, look, I'd probably say I'll give it to the end of the year, see what happens, but who knows? I'm not entirely sure what the club's stance is on it, but we know the owners. They really want to success. They want to make the finals. They want to be contending for premierships, But obviously, we've got to make finals first at the end of the day. So we'll see what happens on that one. We'll see. That's all I've got to say about that.
Yeah, look, I think I'll follow up with that as well. I agree. If the Warriors don't make the 8, now obviously, as fans, we like our coaches. I guess most of us do, I suppose. But ultimately, it's not about liking your coach. It's about your coach giving you results. It's what they're there to do. Obviously, you can build some sort of rapport or like the coach. I get it. We've all had coaches we like that have gone. Peyton is an example, but ultimately, no, he's paid to give us results. It's a results-driven business, whether you like it or not. And look, I agree with you. I think this year, especially with everything that's panned out, the players we got and all that stuff, this is arguably the most important year for us. We need to show that we're able to evolve and move on to the next level as a team. When you also factor in that the Dolphins are going to be playing next year, we need to really try and solidify something here before they come into it. So we need to build a base. So I agree. And if Nathan Brown, if our record is poor, like say bottom 4, he has got to go. It's as simple as that. Look, maybe if we come 9th, sure, I guess, but ultimately we should be aiming for the 8. It's 8 or bust, basically. So, yeah, I agree with your comments there, Fanatics, personally, for sure. Yeah. Was there anything you wanted to add on to that?
No, I pretty much see what I need to say there.
All right, sweet. So we're going to go into probably the last 2, 3, just depending, sort of topics before we close this off. But this one here, so I'll give it a bit of an introduction. I suppose it doesn't need one, but long story short, this week has been an absolute bombardment of Reece Walsh news, right? He's leaving for Dolphins. He's leaving for Broncos. Which team do you want to see him play for next year? Basically ignoring the elephant in the room, which is he still plays for the Warriors. I'm personally fed up with it, but I think I'll let Fanatics have a bit of a discussion there. So what are your thoughts about the Warriors, Reece Walsh, and the media beat up that's just been surrounding him?
First things first, we all know the media came out and put up a thing, saying, Reece Walsh is, he's unsettled at the Warriors and, he's homesick. And look, I'm personally get homesick sort of thing, because he is been in Queensland for what, one season now, So last year, and we're going into the second year now. So personally, I don't think he can use homesick as a how to put this. I want to say excuse, but so lightly. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he said he hasn't said anything yet. Obviously, it's just a media speculation in the media, and after that, a couple of days later, the Warriors came and they said, he's not going anywhere. He's contracted to his contract. We're not releasing him. Whether to believe it or not, I don't know, because sometimes clubs do that. They come out and say that, and sometimes we see something different the next couple of months. It changes. We saw Roger. We didn't think Roger was going to leave, and look what happened there. But it's saying that it's pure speculation, and I've seen people in out there, have a go at Walsh and get a bit too overboard because he's only young. He's only a young kid, and this is the media putting words into Reece's head. The likes of Fox League, all those media outlets. How to put this? Look, trying to put this into words here, but Reece, at the end of the day, he's been at the Warriors for one season, and if he wants to go back and play in Queensland, well, I understand, it's fair enough. I get it. He's got family here and that, but the media needs to stop speculating, in my opinion. They need to stop speculating and just leave it alone, because after the report, they keep posting about it, they're going on and on. Is the Dolphins going after him? Is the Broncos going after him? It just annoys me. It just irritates me the way the media's just played it out, just from my point of view. Yeah, and that's all a bit of speculation at the end of the day. And I don't really want to say too much because it's just the media putting it out there, and you can't believe some of the stuff sometimes. It's speculation. It's speculation. That's all I'm going to say. I really hope he stays, obviously, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say about it personally.
No, well said. Media speculation is a fine line today when it comes to club loyalty and money in contracts. Yeah, I agree there. Yep, I agree there.
Yeah,
for sure. You told me too, but yes, I do. Bring BKR Sport one of these. Yeah, for sure. I definitely will. I'm sure we'll try and tee something up for sure, man. Absolutely. Yeah, look, loyalty, money, it's a business now, right? It's a bit of everything, isn't there? It's loyalty, it's a business, it's family, it's being comfortable, it's playing where you want to play. It's a whole heap of different things that all sort of culminate, I think, today. Loyalty is all good and well, but I almost feel like, look, money plus, a home to stay in, so to speak, or where you're from, say, for example, Queensland. Yeah, it is tough. We'll have to wait and see, I guess, for me personally. Just another thing as well, guys. Did you want to add to that, Fanatics?
No, not really. I've said enough, pretty much. I think I don't really need to say too much of that topic anyway, because we all know it's speculation, and sometimes speculation, yes, maybe it can be true sometimes, but can also be a bit false as well. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Just this last comment here. They gave him a go. He's grateful for the opportunity. Broncos didn't give him. Yeah, I agree. What are your thoughts, Fanatics?
Yeah, I don't know if he'd want to go back to Brisbane. I just look at Brisbane. They let him go at the end of the day, and they've got someone like Salman Cobo there. I don't know if they really would need Reece Walsh. I mean, they've got someone like Selwyn Cobber. They've already got some other players there. I think people find who they have at the moment. So I know, look, in hindsight, maybe they're thinking, maybe we did a bad thing there. We made a bad decision. We should have kept them now, but they've got Selwyn Cobber. They've got all these other players. So I don't know. It's up to Reece. I'd support him. Support whatever he does. Support whatever he does. At the end of the day, even if he does decide to leave us, if that happens, then all the best to him. He's still a Warriors player. For me, you've got to support your player, and I know if he's not in the Warriors anymore, but he'd still be one of my favourite players, regardless of what he chooses. It's a decision at the end of the day, and good luck. But I do say that obviously prefer him to stay here, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that one. Hopefully they get it sorted soon. Really, I don't want it. I don't want this to carry on for the whole season. Because it'd be too much of a distraction going behind the scenes.
No, that's right. I agree, and that's the last thing we need. As Warriors, we know collectively as a fan base, and I'm sure as an organization, players as well, we have a big season ahead of us, and there's just no room for distraction. I think we really got to knuckle down here and really bring the results. Regardless of where you sit as a Warriors fan, I know ultimately losses hurt, full stop. Doesn't matter how you try to, I guess, project or make it out to be. Yep. If you're a Warriors fan, you're a passionate one especially, and there's a lot of us here, losses hurt. We need a big season. So I think it's as simple as that. So yeah, just distractions out of the way. Look, last little topic here, guys. Obviously yesterday there was an immortal who passed away. And unfortunately today, especially in the Kiwi context, we basically sent our condolences to Olsen Filipina as well, who actually passed away today. And I'm not sure if you guys know, but basically he was the pioneer, I believe anyway, for Pacific Rugby League, Pacific Islander players to come into rugby league. He, was a Samoan as well as Maori heritage. He played for Balmain, Eastern Suburbs, and the North Sydney, team as well. So obviously he actually put a footprint in the game, as well as the Kiwis. So I guess just quickly as well, on my behalf, just send condolences to the family on this occasion. And we say basically farewell to one of the greats who have ever, in my opinion anyway, put on the black jersey and from a Pacific Islander standpoint as well, done so much for the game. So condolences to the family. And thank you again for the memories there. Is there anything you wanted to say as well yourself?
Look, that's just very sad to hear that you say. Just like to wish, my thoughts and prayers to Olsen. Yeah, all my thoughts and prayers to him. I know he's one of the biggest icons in the rugby league. He's one of the pioneers, like you said there. I'll just use that little term there. Yeah. And there's the book there, Holdable's holding there. So one of the icons in the rugby league, Pacific league as well. So he's been respected, around everywhere, around the game in general. So just a rest in peace, Olsen, and thoughts and prayers to him and his family, and hopefully as like I said, rest in peace to Olsen there. So but it's a bit sad to hear that news. We've also got Johnny Raper there as well. Dragon as well, who unfortunately passed away as well. So thoughts to him as well as he passed away. But it's a bit of a tough couple of days for rugby league legends who passed away, unfortunately. But speedy recovery to. So not speedy recovery. Sorry. Rest in peace to both of them. Actually, rest in peace. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
You're up.
Sad news. Yeah. Sad news. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough reminder, that we age and obviously all those things sort of happen. So it's unfortunately, I agree. All the condolences for sure. It is tough, but he is definitely a Polynesian pioneer as well. And not only did it influence the next generation, but he influenced the players we see now, from your Fa'afilis, to your Batuves, to your Sonny Bill Williams, to your
Yep.
even your players now, Desi News, Kotoni Staggs, your Payne Haas's, so on and so forth. So he built that foundation. So no, it's sad to
definitely.
see. But in saying that, he built a good, strong foundation. So we'll just see what the next generation continue to do. But yes, that's right. Thoughts and condolences for sure. But look, as we sort of just about tied up here, I'll just read one more comment. Just this last note. I've said for a long time that trying to get top players to sign Warriors is the hardest task, especially when you're trying to sell the idea of living in New Zealand. What are your thoughts on that? That's an interesting one.
Yeah, well, look, I've listened to a few Australian Warriors plays on the Ruin Hammer. Big shout out to those guys. Do great content on their platforms there, and they had a few players, for Australian Warriors players on the show, talk about going to New Zealand and what it's like. And what was interesting was a chat to Ivan Cleary. Actually, Ivan Cleary on, and he said how much he actually enjoyed being in New Zealand. I don't know many people that would say that they enjoy going to New Zealand after because Ivan talked about it. He said he enjoyed being in New Zealand. And I don't know many. I know there's some players that mentioned they enjoyed their time in New Zealand, like the likes of Steve Price and Rick Tate and a few of those other players. Yeah, look, I don't know whether it's just very hard to get them to New Zealand, or it's just a culture pushing like a winning culture. Like, do players think that because the Warriors that they don't want to go there, or is it purely based on going on to live in New Zealand? But I don't know I really don't know what the story behind it is. It's a very tough one to answer because you just don't know. It's what makes players not want to go to New Zealand? What is it, because of the country, or is it because the Warriors club is run differently from all the Australian teams? That's really hard to say. It's really hard to say, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I probably can only just sort of describe it as there's a lot of Kiwis who move to Australia, so why would an Aussie want to move there? No. Like it's probably just that sort of perspective too, but yeah, look, I don't know. I mean, we have Ash Taylor on one hand who said he's ready to pack and go if it means getting him a contract. So I guess it just depends on player to player and how desperate they are for a contract to play NRL. Not to say that you're not desperate if you don't want to move over to New Zealand, but there's certain levels to this, I believe, anyway. So Ash Taylor, who said he'll move, he'll move anywhere to play, and you get some players who a bit hesitant, and I would rather probably try their luck at reserve grade, hoping to get into a NRL team in Australia. So I suppose it works that way too. Look, I think we're probably going to just wrap this up. It's going to be a bit of a short one today. Just give you guys a bit of a short one. But was there any sort of last words you wanted to say, Fanatics?
No, not really. It's been a joy. It's been a pleasure to be on your channel again tonight, and thanks for the invite. We will continue to do a few of these during the year and throughout the season. But thanks for having me on, and thanks to all the viewers for their comments and tuning in and watching tonight. Actually, really enjoyed it, and bring on the footy. The footy's only not far away, guys. So you got the All-Stars this week, both men's and women's games. So that'll be good. And then you also got the Super League as well. So for those of you who are interested in the Super League, thanks for having me on Hold the Ball, and looking forward to many more chats.
Yeah, look, for sure. Look, just quickly before I go, I'm just going to quickly read these comments again. Hello, thanks guys for participating. Reece Walsh won't leave. G4, we'll have to see my dude. We'll have to wait there. Nice one, boys. Love watching Warriors forever. Absolutely, Warriors till I cannot breathe anymore. That's the way it goes. Just quickly as well. Thanks again for jumping on. I appreciate it. I appreciate your opinions, and it's actually pretty cool, that we can discuss this. Again, guys, we're doing this for you guys, obviously. And this will probably get more regular. It is regular, but we're planning to keep it more regular as well, especially during the season. A lot of news, obviously. We're going to have a lot of opinions on it as well. But again, thanks for coming on. Please give Fanatics a follow. Like I said, you can follow him on Instagram, you can follow him on Twitter, you can follow him on YouTube. Just a top dude. And again, great content and good stuff and good topics discussed. For myself, look, follow me here. In saying that as well, Super League starts tomorrow early in the morning. So if you guys are into your Super League, let's watch it. I'm going for my Dragons. We play St. Helens tomorrow. Hopefully we can kick their butts. I reckon we can. It'll be too easy for us. But look, and saying that, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Appreciate it very much. And just remember, hold the ball. Take it easy. See you guys next time.